Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome back to another edition of NBC's 10 Count. I'm Steve Fall, but on today's edition, I am talking to the newest AEW signee, Claudio Castagnoli. I feel like Justin Roberts there. Oh my God. We got sound effects.
We got sound effects.
This is the best day ever. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yeah, thank you.
Good. I hope you have like an applause button too every time I ask a good question. Oh God.
I do not have an applause button.
I was gonna say, please don't make fart noises the whole time.
No, I just look at all my buttons, but I have this one.
Excellent.
Ooh, okay. Every time I ask a good question, you can give me the excellent.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
And if I don't want to answer it,
How about no?
Wow. We're gonna go with Dr. Evil too. I love it. This. You know what? Thank you for being here on NBC's 10 Count. This interview's over because it was too good already. But man, by the way, I love your background. What do you have? You got what? You got some toys back there. You got
a lot of toys, a lot of pictures. Yeah. Got a Star Destroyer, Lego Star Destroyer. Yeah.
How many hours did that take?
Not that many, because I'm gonna go into this big spiel. This is this very small version. Apparently, there's a really, really, really big version. I want to purchase, I think, the really, really big version because it will take me hours to complete.
Yeah, man.
I feel that that'll be a good thing to stream, right? People probably want to see me put together a Star Destroyer over several days.
The whole time. Just live stream it. There'll be you and a bald eagle sitting on its eggs. That'll be the two videos that are trending.
Oh, God.
Or you sitting on eggs while building that. I don't know. But we're here to talk about a little bit of wrestling, I think. People obviously want to know, how did your deal with AEW even come together? Who reached out to who?
I think it was kind of a mutual thing, but I think I reached out to them, and then everything just kind of fell in place when the time was right, which is how the best things happen. I feel it's when it happens organically, and that's kind of that's what ended up happening. I kind of knew where I would like to end up in my career, and it happened in a way that I don't think I could have hoped or written a better way to start.
I know it was quite an eventful introduction to you as well. But but what made you want to sign with AEW? Obviously, everyone knows that you were once known as Cesaro in the WWE, but your contract obviously ended, and you didn't want to either continue, and you joined AEW. So, like, what made you want to join AEW?
I'm obviously following AEW for a while, and when it came time for me to just kind of take a step back and look, and I felt that I was a better fit at AEW, and there was a lot more for me to do at AEW when it comes to challenges, when it came to people I want to work with. There's so many people there that I haven't wrestled either at all or in a very, very long time.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, that's what I want to do. That's what I'll have fun doing. And that's always for me. I always kind of felt that whenever it was time to move on, I moved on. It was the same when I was in before, when I was in Ring of Honor. I felt like now it's time to make the step to WWE, and that's what I did. And now I was like, okay, I feel now it's the time to make the next step, and I did, and I'm very happy I did.
You're right. I think a lot of people always considered you one of the best wrestlers in the world, even before. Now you're in AEW, everyone is like tipping the hat and being like, yeah, see, we told you he was the best wrestler in the world. And your previous run, you wrestled, but obviously there was more, I don't know, sports entertainment. And there's different styles of wrestling, obviously, across the entire world. So, but yet it seemed like every time you were about to, I guess, level up, it was like you got pushed down 2 pegs. And it to me, I was always shocked of that, because I know people like John Cena purposely like went out of their way to say on any interview they did, they would talk about you and say how great you are. You'll be a future world champion. Paul Heyman did the same exact thing. So really, like, what exactly do you think was necessary for you to I guess, level up in your previous company versus AEW, where it seems like you instantly right to the top?
Well, if I would know an answer, we probably wouldn't have that discussion, right? So it's just one of those things that I do not have the answer. There's obviously a lot of speculation going on. But like again, I said, if I would have known, I would have obviously done it, you know. Like you said, it was a lot of one step forward, two steps back, but I feel that's how life is for many people. And you have to just keep going and learn from those experiences, and then like learn from it and then make decisions based on that. And that's why I'm with where I'm at now, and I'm very happy. And I'm also very grateful, like you said, like for, you know, John Cena, that I shared the ring with him, the experiences, the amount I've learned, and the respect I have for him, and I would like to think he has for me. That's something that I built over the past 10, 15 years, and it's the same with the fans. You know, like I am there, and they accepted me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the guy that just, you know, let's just say like a former WWE guy. They know I've been with Ring of Honor. I've been on the Indies before. I've
Right.
moved to the United States to do this. So, and they also know that every single time I step in the ring, I always give it 100%, no matter if the match is 2 minutes or 35 minutes. I want to make it the best match possible, and that is very important to me, that it's authentic. And yeah, I don't have an answer to that question. I don't know if anybody does, but if that journey brought me to where I am today, I'm very happy and extremely grateful to have been on that journey, and I'm very happy, very grateful to be here today.
That's true. Every decision we make leads us to where we are now. And obviously all those decisions, if they were good or bad or frustrating or not, led you to here. So you're in AEW now, which is great. I did, you know, off topic, I did own a bootleg hashtag Push Cesaro shirt. Just saying.
I appreciate that.
I definitely had one. And if you look up the hashtag, I'm most likely the one all the time. Like, what's going on here? Why is this happening? So
I do appreciate it, and I've seen it, and I do appreciate anybody that ever, you know, supported me, brought a sign, bought a shirt, wrote Push Cesaro, hashtag Push Cesaro on the Twitter machine.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the fan support, because without the fans and without their support, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I'm always very, very gracious and very grateful of that. And that's what always made it special. I feel a lot of the experiences I had and the matches I had and the highlights of my career, the fans were right. The fans were the reason for it. Like, the matches were made special because they were there sharing that moment with me. Not there was something, you know, that was like given or prepared, or it was just, it happened. And it's that magic that you cannot recreate or put your finger on it, why it is. It was just, it's fun. And it's always had, in my mind, it always had the fans at its core. Even if it's ripping a beach ball, right? Like, that's a memory that's like,
dude,
it just happened. People will remember, and it was made special because of the way everybody reacted. So yeah.
That beach ball was very popular that evening.
I made sure it was very short-lived life of that beach ball.
Yes, yeah. It was funny because if you look it up and it's like beach ball, everyone was like, beach ball, oh, hashtag Push beach ball, world champion beach ball, and then it was like, oh.
Yeah, kind of deflated, right?
Oh yeah, you deflated the situation. But obviously the fans have always been with you, and obviously they've joined you now in AEW. But what is your you've had two different bosses, different personalities, but Tony Khan now is your boss in AEW. What has the conversations been like with him? Like, has he told you a design that he has for you in particular?
I mean, that's for that's for the viewers to watch and find out, right?
Mm.
I'm a very big believer of that we are. I mean, Chris Jericho is the wizard. I mean, he just ask him. He told us. But I always thought that we are the magicians, right? And there's been this show that like the magicians show the magic tricks, but then you've seen it and you never look at the trick again in the same eyes. So I always believe that there should be a certain veil that you shouldn't know. So if I would come out here and be like, oh yeah, so this is what we talked about, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, it would be probably a fun listen, but then it would ruin so many things. And I feel like one of the special things was like on like debuts like mine that people didn't really know. Like they may hope, they may have an idea, but they didn't know. And I feel like that's part of the fun of what wrestling is. And that's what made that moment special. And that's why the crowd reacted the way they did. So I did have some great conversations with Tony Khan. Yes. I was
gonna say there's well, please tell me, but obviously you're not going to. So, but no, just kidding. There's a picture though on Twitter that people absolutely love or absolutely hate. It's Tony Khan hugging you, and his face is like buried into your chest, and there's like reaction of like people absolutely have gone bonkers, either good or bad. So like. I guess first off, what's your thought on Twitter being like, how dare these people hug like this, which is weird.
It's so strange because that was after Forbidden Door, the press conference.
Yeah.
And it was literally like it was like a quick hug. It was just like I was done, and it was just like it lasted, like it was like when you like see your friend and you give like a high five and then like a pat on the back kind of hug, and like it was screen captured, and I guess people ran with it. Hey, it's just two bros hugging, so make of it was you there was this old saying, because I'm kind of up there in age now. I'm kidding. There's this old saying about wrestling. It's like either people like if wrestling is real or whatever, and it's like people believe, and people who don't, they'll never will. Right? No explanation will do. I feel like it's the same. If people want to complain, they'll find something to complain about, be it the picture or whatever. And if people like it, they'll hopefully find something to like about. But I would rather be somebody that appreciates something and says something positive and likes it. Like that was a great picture. It was okay. It was a great night. It was a great debut. We hugged. Awesome, right? Like, isn't that great? Right?
It is. Yeah.
Successful show, successful pay-per-view, Chicago. New Japan and AEW coming together, who people didn't think that was going to be possible. So many awesome matches on that show. I was just watching the whole show, like what I could, and it was fantastic. So just take it positive here.
Yeah, you make a good point. There's a lot of people on Twitter who, if they won the lottery, they'd still complain about, like, there's just taxes now. I have to pay taxes on this. Like, you won the lottery.
Colt Cabana told me this a while back, and I think it was from an interview he watched. He was like, you can go through life on the happy bus or on the angry bus. I would like to be on the happy bus. So
me too.
It's very simple. It's just like choose happiness.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Choosing happiness. So take me through the day of AEW Forbidden Door, because are you being like flown in on a different flight underneath a different name, hidden in a hotel somewhere? Because I interviewed Athena last month, and boy, did she have a story of how her day went to get to the arena. So are you hiding all day long?
Yeah. So yes, on a special flight. No, on a hotel, kind of right to the arena. And then I was kind of hiding. Well, they were like, where do we put you? I'm like, I'll just go to the locker room. They're like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, okay. So I was kind of in hiding, but I saw a lot of the guys and a lot of the friends that came, said hello. So it was pretty cool.
Wow. So your friends got to see you before you were on TV?
Yeah. I mean, they sent maybe some vague text to some good friends, like, maybe you come over here, so because I wanted to say hello, and like some people had an idea, so they came and said hello. So it was great. Yeah.
So you got flown
Very,
in.
very secret agent style. I'm very good at hiding in plain sight. So
I was gonna say, like, for instance, like Athena was like, I was wearing a mask, I put my hood over my head, I hid my hair, like she was incognito, like, but you're
well,
like,
see,
oh,
like, I don't have to. I was hiding my hair as well, but my hair has been hiding for the past
you
10
pushed it
years.
in.
So yeah. It's been on vacation. I mean, I wore a hat. I think I had sunglasses and like a mask because everybody's wearing masks now. So my problem is kind of kind of tall, slightly broad, rather than average human. So that's kind of
So when you're in the airport, though,
hard to hide.
when you're in the airport, are there fans with like their binoculars out trying to find people? Because I know Johnny Gargano, he was local at the time, and he was like, I'm not there tonight. I'm going home. Which
was
when you say
hilarious.
that, people are like,
yeah, exactly.
No, you're not.
Hilarious.
So then there was a bunch of options, obviously.
Yeah. I may not have been at a public airport, so I didn't have that problem.
Oh, okay. So you flew first class to a fancy area, and then you were chauffeured off into a wonderful limousine with caviar and champagne.
Let's paint that picture. That sounds great.
Okay. Versus a van picking you
versus
up.
a van, yeah, with like 10 other people. No, I was. It was kind of a private thing, and then I was whisked to the arena, and then I was there for the rest of the day, and it couldn't have worked out any better, I thought.
Of course. So, but obviously your debut probably was not supposed to be at the Forbidden Door because Bryan Danielson came up injured, so they needed a replacement for his match. So obviously we needed someone, and they want someone to be on the same level, and I believe you are. And so obviously you are thrusted into this position. But is that the original design for your debut? At least the way you saw it coming.
It was not. There was something in the works, but then it was like, can you start next week? That kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, of course. That's why I'm a professional, right? So
I guess I'm free.
Obviously very, very sad and upset to hear about Brian being hurt, but very flattered to be. If you need somebody to replace Brian and you think of me, I'm like, that's a very flattering compliment. And also, Brian is a very good friend, so of course I jump in at a heartbeat to help him. And Blackpool Combat Club, which are all my friends anyway, so fits perfect again. Just worked out so perfect. So I was very excited that was the beginning.
Again, an outstanding match too. And it seemed what was crazy about that match, obviously it was a design to it, is when you show up, it seemed like the match was going to last 25 seconds. And everybody's like, it was like every thought through everyone's head was going like, oh, this is a good idea. Well, I want to see him wrestle a long time, but this is awesome, but I want to see a long match. It was like, it turned into like this, devil and angel on your shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, like it was one of those, right? I mean, people are really looking forward to seeing Brian and Zack Sabre Jr. And I'm they will see it in the future. That's just a match that I want to see. Yeah. I mean, I was excited to see that match. And then I was like, okay, obviously me wrestling Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be different. So let's go to town. Let's make it different, right?
Oh yeah, you tricked us good though.
Again, magic.
Here's the rabbit. Oh,
yeah,
it's behind your ear. Though, could we see? Do you think? I think it was a success. Forbidden Door. You think there could be another one?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was very successful, and I think it was a very, very, very smart attempt a very smart and successful attempt at introducing the American fans that may not have seen New Japan Pro Wrestling to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think it's only good for both companies to have that relationship. And then hopefully this will become a yearly thing, because the other part that's kind of fun is it's, yes, they're all kind of cold matches. But that's also, in this case, I feel like the allure. It's just like, hey, this is one time a year. where you can have your favorite AEW wrestler against your favorite New Japan wrestler. So it becomes that, people always ask me like, oh, what's your favorite match, dream match of all time? Who's your favorite opponent anywhere in the world? And I'm like, I don't know. It's too many. There's too many out there. And I just want to pick one. But I think that's what fantasy booking is for. That's what the GM modes, the video games are for. The fans can speculate. And that's actually a night where that can happen. Like you saw Tanahashi against Mox, right? Like how awesome is that? But and so it was just like, hey, we're giving whoever's against Mox, and then you have the story built in, obviously. But it's just that's the fun part. So I hope it's going to be a yearly thing.
Now I know Tony Collins asked this question before, but and he answered it, and I liked his answer. The question was, could you see a WWE AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view? And in my brain, I say no, but it's the same. But that because I've just the schematics of it, who's going to win, who's going to lose type of deal. But yet, do you think that someday all these companies, Impact and NWA and WWE and AEW, New Japan, could all come together at one point and somehow make money with each other? Or is that like, that's not happening?
I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future brings? I think that's just something you have to wait and see.
Is it, but like, is it even in the realm of reality because of so many things of just personalities, I guess?
I mean, if you look back 4 or 5 years ago, would you have ever thought it would be the realm of reality that a company like AEW is around, being as successful as they are, having 2 very successful shows on television, and having the diverse roster that they have, where you literally have some, like, if you're a wrestling fan, you'll find somebody that you just attach yourself to, and that can be from fun guys to monsters to high flyers. It's like everything, like girls.
You have a dinosaur. There's a dinosaur there.
So there is a dinosaur there. There's Orange Cassidy. There's Brody King. It's just a
Danhausen
human being. You have Danhausen. You have and then you have Bryan Danielson, Mox, and there's so much talent there. You would have never, if you would have, okay, so here's my thing, right? If you would have said you will see Orange Cassidy against Chris Jericho on national television 5 years ago, right? Like,
yeah.
You didn't think that was in the realm of possibility, and it is. And that's the beauty of it. So who knows what's possible in the future?
I would love to see it. I think back in the day, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines, there would always be the fantasies of like Hogan versus Austin, Rock versus Sting, stuff like that. So I hope it happens someday for the fans, of course, because the fantasy booking would go up the wazoo. Like, people were going crazy for that. They'd be like, please come out of retirement, Rock. We need you to fight Kenny Omega. It would do numbers, definitely. But when you came backstage after your Forbidden Door debut, who was the first person there to either like shove you and say, "Why didn't you tell me?" or or a friend of yours saying, "Oh, that was a good match"?
It was who did I run into? I think it was just by design. I think I ran into Hangman first because he was the next one out. So, and then the Young Bucks were there too. But again, that was just and then. It was just, I mean, there was a bunch of guys there, and that was just, but then we had to, there was like videos that had to be filmed, promos that had to be filmed, pictures that had to be taken, all that stuff. And then, I went out again at the end of the night. So a lot of moving parts, but it was a lot of fun. And it was great because I was running past Pac. And I was just like congratulating him because he won the Atlantic title that night. And he was kind of like he gave me the like, why didn't you tell? But like, that was literally the last time I saw him, because then I had to do so much fun stuff and I really wanted to catch up with him. So there was a lot of moving parts. But it's just a lot of guys that I haven't seen in a long time that I ran into again, and it was just fun to catch up. But I can't think of like a single one that like stood out that much, just because there was a lot of people, and it was just, I don't want to name one and then
you don't want someone to be offended.
No. I mean, I don't think anybody will be offended, but it's literally just like so many people. Oh, I run into the wall. That's Billy Gunn. You know, it was just like.
Is that man ageless, by the way?
Oh, dude, he is.
Like, I don't understand. How is this possible?
He is a very large human being, and you know, when you grew up watching wrestling, when I did, you thought like, oh, Billy Gunn, he's like regular sized human, right? Like, because there were so many giants and everything. And then you meet Billy Gunn, you're like, yeah, definitely not regular. Just still so big, so strong. He's awesome.
It's crazy. Yeah, you go
Daddy
back.
ass, they call him, right?
Yeah. If you like go back in the day and watch him in the Smoking Guns with Bart Gunn, you think he's a small man.
Yeah,
and
he's definitely not a small.
And
man.
then when you're fighting Yokozuna, well, obviously you're gonna look small. And then, later on, I always felt like he was like hunching over. If someone told him like, please hunch over, you're making Triple H and The Rock look short. I don't know if that ever happened to him, but yeah, every time I see him, it's like, dude, you look better than you did in 1999. So very shocking. Very shocking. But you stole the show after Forbidden Door at Blood and Guts, and you did something that I think nobody thought was going to. They wanted to happen, but they didn't think like, this is physically possible. You gave Chris Jericho the big swing on top of the cage, and you're not like in the middle of the cage. You were very close to the edge.
Yeah.
And at any point, your hands could have just slipped out from sweat, and whoop, there goes Jericho. So is there planning involved with this, or you're just like, we're going to go out there and we're going to do this, Jericho, and you're going to like it and you're going to take it?
I mean, there was, the idea tossed out, and we, with matches like that, there's always, you want to familiarize yourself with the structure and everything and what all is involved. And that was kind of, if you're going to do it, that was the only place where I felt comfortable, because of like structure wise and all that. There's so much stuff up there, and like the way the cage is welded together and lowered with the chains and rigged and everything. So that was pretty much the only place. And it was the way it looked, obviously, and the way it was shot. It was awesome, and it was one of those moments that will hopefully live on for a long time, because it was freaking awesome.
It was.
I mean, it was freaking awesome for me. I don't think he enjoyed it too much.
I can't imagine someone being whipped around by their ankles and like, what's he supposed to grab onto if suddenly you slip or he?
So like, that's one of those, right? Like, the margin for error is really, really, really small, because there's no net, right? Literally, there's no net. So.
Yeah, I think people are going to be, when the AEW video game and everything gets together and it comes out, people are going to be like, I need to recreate this moment because of seeing, but they're going to want to let go, and then Jericho flies off into the crowd for the video game. That's one thing, but
video game is one thing, but real,
you don't want to take Jericho home.
That was a fantastic way to our first week on the job. It's quite the journey.
I know, right? That's one thing too, is like, the only thing that could top this would be like, oh, he came in Forbidden Door, he big swings Jericho. Oh, next week he beats Mox, which we wouldn't, because you're together right now, for the championship. It'd be like,
but that would probably be too much,
Hey, listen, we've been waiting for a long time for.
Okay, that's true.
So nobody's gonna say, I think that might have been too soon. They're gonna be like, that was
bus, right?
Yes. Join the happy bus with me, okay?
Join the happy bus.
All right, I'm here praising you. Don't put.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. Though recently on Dynamite, though, we did see you and Jake Hager, back face to face, and then it obviously brought back so many memories. We the People and Zeb Coulter and all that. So, is that by design, you think, to remind people of what once was, or it's just, hey, you guys liked each other, so let's work together?
No, so that was another fantastic thing when I wanted to join AEW, was look at everybody there. I have history with pretty much everybody. And if not, like, there's something that we can do. There's something that we can create here. And it was one of those blood and guts, right? It was like me and Hager ended up in the ring, and why not, right? There's history there. Why ignore it? That's the beauty about it. I feel like that's a lot of times stuff gets ignored because like, I don't know, people not remember. But no, people remember, especially wrestling fans. They have such good memories. They come up to me with stuff that I've forgotten, and it's just one of those Easter eggs. And if you don't know, then please go look it up. And if you know, this is for you. And like, I mean, it's not that big of an Easter egg because I feel like it's pretty well known. So that was the cool part. It's just there's history with everybody, and with Hager, there's definitely that history. And I thought it was fun, and the people get to have fun with it, chant it. Probably pissed off Jericho and chanted it again, so it made me happy, So it's very cool to see the people are that invested, and the people are rewarded for being invested.
Yes, I'm glad you brought it up. How wrestling fans remember everything, because some people believe that wrestling fans like forget. Like, we have history in our blood, in our brains. I remember what happened in 1992 in Superstars. So it's I remember what happened in WCW in 1997. It's like, I remember these things. People remember these things. And yet people pretend that history doesn't exist. Like, a racing history is going to somehow fix what's happening right now, which is not possible. So seeing you and Jake, it flooded back memories, obviously, for you as well as fans. So we're really, obviously as fans, we like to see things that remind us of what you once did, and now we're moving forward with a new version of what you once did.
Exactly. I feel like you need to keep evolving, right? That's the important part. But you cannot neglect your history. And the cold matches, like dream matches and stuff, they could be fun, but the best stuff is always like the stories around it, right? It's the interaction between humans. That's what makes the match then special, right? What's on the line? Is it pride? Is it one-upsmanship? Is it friendship? Is it hatred? So is it a championship? That's what makes it special. And there is history built in. There's animosity built in. It's that friendship that your best friend turned your back on you, so screw him, and then you see him again 10 years later, and now you're better and he's better, but who is better? So it's one of those, like, when you see your best friend from high school that turned on you and turned your back, and then you realize, like, oh, this is my car now, right? And he's like, oh, well, this is my car. So it's that everybody can relate to it, and that's what made the match special. And that to me is such an intricate part of professional wrestling and AEW, and I feel like AEW does amazing with that.
Yeah, I agree. AEW, I think, gives certain fans that want it, is like, some people want a certain style of wrestling, and some people want to be acknowledged. Like, the other organizations do exist. So seeing like Forbidden Door, New Japan versus AEW was like, people love Okada, but yet maybe some people don't know the entire history of Okada, but now you saw him in AEW. Maybe you're going to go check out more matches, join up on, New Japan's streaming platforms. It's like, it can open up a whole door if you allow people to acknowledge, hey, there is history between these characters.
Yeah. I feel like that's it. It would be almost silly not to, because it just enhances something that's there.
Right. Yeah. Why create a whole new storyline when you already have one built in? So, but obviously when you joined AEW, there were reasons behind it. But one picture that keeps popping up is you and Eddie Kingston from many years ago. You mentioned your hair. There was hair in this picture, but you're wearing these like, I don't know what you bought them at, like the bargain basket clothing. What is that picture about? Because it keeps floating around everywhere, and I think people want to know, what the hell is that picture about?
So that was from when I just came to the United States. I was Swiss money holding, a rich Swiss banker, and that event, me and Eddie Kingston teamed up, and I outfitted him with one of my awesome suits. Yeah, that was before,
Awesome.
Eddie,
you use the
Eddie
word
was
awesome?
being Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah, that picture, there's so many things about you that pop up constantly. And that's
Oh,
one of the
they're
pictures that,
completely random, and I love it
yeah, they're always like, I'm like,
because it's
what?
just yeah, which is awesome because it's like that's your body of work again. Like that's like why would you neglect that? Like yeah, I did that as much as Eddie and I don't get along anymore. But like we teamed up, so it's like it's like random pictures pop up, and it's to me I always laugh. It's like you had hair. I'm like yeah, I did back in the day. So again, that's history. Why would you know acknowledge it? It's fun.
So you don't get along with Eddie Kingston anymore?
You know, uh, uh, I noticed he started talking a lot less trash now that I actually showed up. So, but
Interesting.
we kind of we won blood and guts. I feel like that kind of maybe put a patch on it for a bit. So,
Okay. Well, I think you just mentioned, I think we have a built-in storyline here. Sometimes reality becomes the best storyline. Bret Hart and Shawn
hey,
Michaels.
that is true.
So, but right now in AEW, though, is there a wrestler in particular that has impressed you more than the rest? Because there are so many people.
No, so like so that's the thing. I'm not going to name a single person because it wouldn't be fair. Again,
Right.
there's so many, and every week I feel that's another thing. You watch AEW, you get so many matches, and you get so many different matches, and there's things that are like, oh, he is there too, and it's I don't mean because they just haven't been used, but it's like no, it's just in that story just takes a while to develop, so they're there like the and it's but there's so many guys that I'm impressed with, and even on Dark and Elevation and then Rampage, that okay, I wanna be in the ring with everybody, right? So to me, um, it's also cool to see there's so many young guys that I mean, they're maybe 24, 26, 27. Like imagine them in 6, 7 years where they're gonna be. That's gonna be exciting. I mean, like it's exciting now, but I think the future is very bright and exciting. And to be part of it kind of reinvigorates you and hopefully keeps you young. And that was always my thing. It's like new challenges. You always need to challenge yourself. And that's, for example, Chris Jericho is one of those people who keeps reinventing himself, and it's very inspiring to see. And there's not like you can probably besides Eddie Kingston, you can name anybody that I want to be in the ring with, and I would have fun. So yeah.
Yeah, there are so many. You're just writing your Eddie Kingston storyline as we do this.
No,
That's what's happening here. I think that's going to be the maybe the fortunately or unfortunately a headline of Claudio wants to beat up Eddie Kingston over him stealing his suit, 15, 20 years ago. That's the storyline. You stole my suit, you ass.
No.
Well, you
We're
stole my
getting
suit.
along right now. We're getting along right now. So I don't want to,
No.
but no. But even like I said, like there's just every week I watch was like, oh man, like yesterday, Wardlow against Orange Cassidy I watched obviously because I had a minute, and then the main event was just absolutely crazy. So it's just I couldn't watch the other stuff because I was getting ready for my match, but it's just like there's so many people that I want to be in the ring with. So again, like fans, if you want to fantasy book something, just
we'll draw a picture of you.
Maybe it'll happen,
Maybe. So you brought up you were getting ready for your match, and I think a lot of different wrestlers have multiple different routines to get ready for matches. Mick Foley said he used to listen to this like lovely song that would turn him into a crazy person and go out there and fly off cells. What is your getting ready? Do you have a song? Do you have a certain stretch?
I have like a little warm-up routine that I started doing within the last 2 years. Other than that, it was just do some squats and push-ups and stretch a bit and then go out. I was never one to really listen to music before I go out there because I would probably lose my headphones and stuff because and you have to put it somewhere, and I'm just like it's just get ready for a match, go over like what I want to do, what I want to focus on, and mentally prepare myself. I don't have a set ritual, so sorry.
No, you don't have to
probably like making bad jokes right before I go out there or something like that. I don't know.
Well, that's always a good time, right? Though it's funny that getting to the tail end of my questions, but then you just triggered my brain with the idea of, I remember you and Tyson Kidd were an incredible tag team.
Yep.
And you had Natalia with you, and amazing matches with the Usos. And I just remember, unfortunately, Tyson obviously getting injured, and then it kind of threw you off to a tailspin. But like your time with Tyson Kidd, I think when people make top 10 tag team matches of the the past 15 years, that one always gets put on the list. So like, how do you feel about your body of work being constantly put on top 10 lists?
I feel very humbled by that, actually. But that just, I wanted everything I did, like I said, even if it was a 1 or 2 minute match, I wanted that to be the best 1-2 minute match. And I'd be very humbled, but I'm very, very happy about it. Fun fact. So I think me and Tyson had a very, very memorable run. People always do remember that. And we had some very special matches with New Day and the Usos.
Yeah.
That I still remember. Tyson had was exactly 6 months to the day. That was it.
Wow.
We only teamed for 6 months to the day. Wow. Before he got hurt. Yeah. So
that's interesting. Yeah, people always bring it up too. That's the craziest part.
Yeah, I think it was great. And we were the first ones to come out with the beats and with our own little gear, and we had Natalia out there, which added so much to the presentation and the matches and everything. And I had so much fun, and we both had a huge chip on our shoulders. I still do. I think he still does too. So, we just, and then put New Day and the Usos in the mix, and it was magic.
Yeah, I'm glad that you triggered my brain, because I'm like, finally I get to talk to you. So finally I have to bring up every thought I've ever had about you in my brain in a 45-minute interview. So I got to spew it all out, and obviously sometimes you forget a few things.
That's right.
Though, what are your goals for the year? Because again, you've accomplished so much with joining AEW, the Forbidden Door. You almost tossed Chris Jericho off the steel cage of Blood and Guts. Could have happened. But what are your goals for the year in AEW?
Well, I would say a championship, definitely. I would love to win the championship in my first year. And then the big one, obviously, in the upcoming years. But most of all, I want to continue my body of work and the way people remember me, and to keep that momentum going, because to keep that quality of all my matches and my performances and stuff that people remember that high, like you said, the top 10 lists and stuff, like that's very flattering. But what I really like is when people go like, man, me and my friends still remember when you did this or that happened. We were, whatever. So like, to me, it's to keep that up, to help AEW reach new levels, nationally, internationally. Hopefully we go on tour, sooner or later, and just to kind of, me and my Blackpool Combat Club friends, like Rigo said so eloquently, you either step up or get stepped on. Like, I'm here, and I'm not here to I'm here to have fun, but I'm having fun at the highest level. And if you're not performing there, you're in for a huge reality check. And that reality check will be me. Like, a lot of people think they're really good, and then they step in the ring with somebody like me, and then
yes. I really hope that the first year is you win that championship, world title, that is. You can have the rest, but I think it's time to give you what you deserve after so many years of your body of work being appreciated, obviously, by so many different fans. But I think now we're gonna rally even further for you.
I appreciate that. I feel like the word deserve gets tossed around a lot.
But you've earned it, though.
But
you've also earned it.
So to me, like, if you earn it, and if it means to happen, it will. You know what I mean? And I'm extremely now. I'm just being teamed up with Regal, Yuta, Mox, and Brian, hey, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna run roughshod. I feel like for a bit. So I'm all in on that. So hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah, man! Let's make it happen, folks. We change the hashtag to hashtag push Claudio. I love it so much. I'll have to buy another bootleg shirt, or hopefully AEW will make one so I don't have to buy the bootleg version. Please, Tony Khan, don't hurt me. I love you so much. I'll also give you a hug. Folks, thank you so much for watching NBC's 10 Count. I had a pleasure. This has been like a dream come true talking to you today because, again, I brought it up. You've earned it. You have the respect of every fan. I have never, ever heard someone be like, oh, he's okay. No, there's not, oh, he's okay. He's awesome at what he does, and he deserves everything he gets. So those are my words, and I think a lot of fans feel the same way. So thank you again for everything you've done and everything you're going to do in AEW. We're very excited.
Thank you.
Well, folks,
these were your words, so I'm going to keep being awesome.
I love it. Folks, thanks for watching another episode of NBC's 10 Count. I've been Steve Hall. He's been Claudio. We've had a great time. We'll see you next time. Bye.